and welcome to Gamer Premonitions, Death Stranding. As you probably know from watching this show before, we have our four experts who can see into the future using their gamer brains to let you know what's going to be in upcoming video games long before the companies that make them announce it. So we have our usual cast today of KZ from KZExcellent.com. How's it going?
This podcast will only get fun about halfway in.
Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
That makes me so excited for this podcast.
And I'm your host, Dan Video Games, and along with me is Bob from GigaBoots.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So, we're going to go through, and each of us has to tell you four things, four of our premonitions of what will be in the game Death Stranding, coming out later this year. To get things started, we will let Bob go first.
Well, first, Dan, I need to summarize Death Stranding.
Oh, no.
In that bit where we forget the summary every single time.
And KZ doesn't know if it's a bit or intentional.
Mr. Feel, what is Death Stranding?
Death Stranding is a 2019 video game directed by Hideo Kojima. It is on the PlayStation 4 in third person and features a story, multiple game modes, and some form of online functionality. Hideo Kojima isn't sure what this game is about, so what do you want out of me?
Feel, we're supposed to know. We're the experts.
I know.
Thank you, Feel, for the incredibly accurate summary. I feel like I already know what that game is going to be based on just that alone. Well, with that out of the way, it is now time for Bob to actually get these premonitions started. Bob, what is your first gamer premonition?
I figured I should lead it off by explaining what Death Stranding means.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Obviously.
Go right ahead.
So the Death Stranding event will be caused by the Corel network, which is what you're trying to reestablish.
Mm-hmm.
So before it was destroyed, it caused it because it had some sort of update where it tried to connect humanity to the afterlife, to God.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that blows up and causes this whole beaching event where all the BTs come to our world.
Yes.
And this also going to work as a parallel to the story of Babel.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think they'll try and fork all that in.
I think that's a pretty solid premonition, Bob. I think that's incredibly likely.
That's Kino.
Okay, well, with Bob's first premonition out of the way, we now go to Feel for his first premonition.
Well, Bob came very close to what I had prepared, which made me very scared, but he did not get entirely to it. Death Stranding, it will turn out that the cause of Death Stranding is an experiment involving the Chiral network that killed God.
Good.
God is literally dead. That is why nobody can die. That's why the Death Stranding thing is happening. That's why that you have the time rain that makes people hyper age. God is just dead, and Death Stranding will be the story of how humanity can survive even in a world without God.
Okay. That seems incredibly likely. I look forward to the final trailer that debuts 10 hours before the game comes out that starts with the phrase, God is dead. Because Kojima can't have a single surprise.
And Die Hard Man will say it.
Yes. And they'll probably have 10 minutes of game footage of the characters talking about how he's dead. Robbing the game of its last-minute twist. KZ, it is your job to follow up these first premonitions with your own. What is going to happen in Death Stranding?
In Death Stranding, there will be a sequence toward the end of the game, possibly the final gameplay sequence, where you're no longer playing as Norman Reedus, but you are playing as a reincarnated baby version of him, and you have baby controls.
Does it have a pop-up that says you have activated baby mode? Use this power to kill Satan.
Only if you're playing on hard.
Okay, that makes sense. This seems incredibly likely to happen in this game. Thank you for letting me know now. I hate surprises. I want to get into the game and literally know everything that's in it. Thank you.
The race to beat Kojima to his job.
Okay, I
Kojima
will.
releases a video essay of explaining his game the day before it comes out.
Yes, we're.
It has a dare for you to watch it.
It's 18 hours long.
Thank you, Kojima. Very Death Stranding-ish.
We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to watching it in the 4 hours leading up to launch. I might have just barely enough time to watch it all before I buy the game. Okay, for my first premonition, I'm going to start off small, okay? Death Stranding will steal a scene whole cloth from 3 of the following films. 1, The Great Escape. 2, Blade Runner. 3, The Running Man. 4, Escape from L.A., probably the surfing scene. And 5, and finally, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Kojima's known for his homages that very much hit on in an obvious way, like with The Great Escape and Metal Gear Solid 3. I think Kojima will keep this tradition alive in Death Stranding.
Which scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off do you think is the most likely one to be used?
We're probably going to cut back to the headquarters and feature someone going, Norman? Norman?
Oh, no, see, I thought we'd have to have, like, Norman Reedus has to get home before his parents find out.
Yeah, that's when you're playing as the baby.
Yeah, those both seem like potentials, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Ben Stein's in this game?
He might be. He's probably one of the people you have to reconnect.
Who needs Keanu? We have Ben Stein. I'm gonna win his money.
Okay, that ends the first round of these premonitions. Mr. Feel, we're going to go with you to start off the second round of premonitions. Tell me something else that is going to happen in Death Stranding.
Now, okay, you said tell you something that will be in, so I have some ones that won't be in, but we'll go with one that will be in.
Okay.
Now, people will play this game, and they may discover it immediately. They may not discover it until months after the game comes out, but there will be a way to skip a difficult section or trivialize a difficult boss or neutralize a difficult enemy that will revolve around using the piss button in a bizarre way.
Oh, nice. Someone's going to be weak to urine. That makes sense. Is it going to be some sort of jellyfish sting monster?
You just pee on Higgs.
I do not know.
Oh
And
my
God. Here's a tie-in. In Metal Gear Solid 3, you can get unique game overs by killing characters that are alive later in the series. Like if you shoot Ocelot in the head when he's laying down unconscious, you get the time paradox game over. You will get be able to get a non-standard game over in Death Stranding by pissing on someone.
Okay, that seems likely. I was thinking that maybe this is how you make the baby visible. You have to pee on Mama's baby.
God,
and then you can see it.
This is too much.
Look, Kojima gave us the beautiful tool set with which we make these premonitions. If anyone's to be blamed, I feel it should be him. KZ, we now go to you for your second premonition. Tell me about Death Stranding.
While you will get an ending upon finishing Death Stranding, the true and most sought-after ending can only be completed when a bunch of online players achieve some dumb esoteric thing in the game.
Not again.
Connected experiences. Are we going to disarm all of the baby nukes?
You gotta reconnect when enough strands come together and make the dream catcher of Kino.
Don't worry, someone will hack it out within the first couple weeks.
That's the only way anyone will ever see it.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I'm really glad that Kojima.
Also, he's done it before. This was a guess.
Oh yeah, no, he did that.
Wait, did you really not know that he's done this before?
No.
That's insane. Why would you assume he would do this insane thing if he hadn't already done it?
Because the entire point of like his marketing and talking about the game is like connecting with people, making the strands, create the rope, and him talking about online elements. I'm like, he'll just do something really stupid.
But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 had like a bonus ending that you could only get if every single player disarmed their nuke.
That wouldn't happen.
And PT had another set of super specific stuff.
You know,
I'm gonna get people to do that.
I was going to go ahead and say this, but I feel it's too similar to KZ, so I'll get it out now as a freebie.
Yep.
Death Stranding will only be beatable between the hours of 4 and 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time. While you're downloading some other game.
God.
So it's just gonna be all weird PT shit.
Yes, I think he thinks that was the true brilliance of PT, and the internet seems to agree with him. But I'm gonna go ahead and
Didn't you have to like call a phone number and then play the recording into the mic of your thing?
No, you didn't have to do that. You just had to have your mic hooked up, which means if you didn't have your mic hooked up, it was impossible to beat, basically. Yeah. Anyway, for my second actual premonition. Now, the character Heartman is obviously a metaphor for episodic television trying to artistically represent life in a 21-minute time frame. Kojima will have another character who's a super obvious metaphor. For example, you will find a man out in the wild and try to reconnect him to the network, but you can't unless you wait for him to finish smoking cigarettes for 18 minutes straight. The trophy for reconnecting this character will be called Kept You Waiting, huh?
I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Feels.
Some revelations bring pleasure, others bring pain. Bob, what will your revelatory premonition bring us?
Okay. Characters are always related in weird ways in Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to call it now. Higgs is Emily's father.
Okay.
She's like the current president of the United States, and he's the Golden Mask guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sam and Cliff are brothers, so Mads and Norman Reedus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's going to happen.
We're getting real familial in here. I like it.
The theme is family.
Yeah, always. No matter how screwed up the family is.
Yeah.
In fact, especially, the more screwed up it is, the more likely it is to be a theme. Well, then, I guess that ends the second round for us, which means we're moving on to the third. KZ, can you start us off on the third round of premonitions?
This is tough. I might want to go for an easy one on the second half. Now, I feel like in Death Stranding, there's a lot of apprehension on if this game will be like the predecessor. Now, I know only anecdotal things I see on Twitter, people talking about Metal Gear Solid 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make the premonition that you will play Death Stranding and go, oh, thank God he didn't make Metal Gear Solid 5 again. Where you will be able to play through it, and it continues to be new content all the way to credits. And it won't make you redo hard versions of missions or whatever they made you do in Metal Gear Solid 5 that people don't like.
This is really bold, actually.
This is a big. I'm taking a big risk looking into the future here because this game was rolled out pretty quickly.
Bravery.
This is a gamble. The theme is bravery at kzexcellent.com.
I have a sneaking suspicion it is probably only like 15 hours long.
That'll still make me right.
We can hope.
Yeah, I hope it's 15 hours long. We were all very wrong about another game.
Turns out it's longer than Days Gone.
I didn't even beat Metal Gear Solid 5.
I did. I think I'm the only one of this group who has.
Yeah.
I got like 30% through the play these missions again. And I'm like, nope, bye.
I think I got it on like a PS Plus thing, and I got like bored 20 minutes in and stopped playing. I didn't even get to the part where they kiss.
Okay. I will continue us on our third round of premonitions. In Death Stranding, near the conclusion of the game, there will be an event, possibly set on the beach. and every person you didn't reconnect will float past you in an ethereal or stumble past you in a zombie-like state. This is supposed to be a heartbreaking moment about how many people ended up not surviving because you did not reconnect them, but it'll just be fucking hilarious because it will be full of various celebrities that Kojima is friends with, like Jeff Keighley or Conan O'Brien.
Oh no!
Since we're talking about Conan O'Brien, I think that he should be called Funny Hairman.
Funny Hairman. Flip Gingerman. His hologram inside of his little is just like, thanks for saving me, and it flips its hair.
Jeff Keelman.
Hate Sunman.
Bob, you have the floor.
All right.
What is your third premonition?
I'm gonna say Die Hardman. He will at some point remove his spooky mask.
Oh.
And we find out that he's both a BT and the former president of the United States.
What?
Okay. Okay, so we're doing.
He might have a cool anime fight right after that too.
Is he gonna sword fight you on the top of some monument? That's my real question here, Bob.
I think a Metal Gear joke. I don't know what you're talking about.
my bet would be that he saves Sam.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to be a good guy, even though he's actually a horrible monster. He used to be the president.
And likes licking people.
No, that Die Hardman is the guy who gives you the briefings.
Sorry, I forgot. I just assumed everyone in the game was into licking people because Kojima wants to cut weird shit into trailers. Okay, thank you, Bob, for the twist that Solidus is also in this video game.
Yes.
Feel, how do you follow that up?
Now, I'm going to say something that I don't think will be in Death Stranding.
Okay.
I think there's like a 70% chance this will not be in Death Stranding. It'll be hilarious if it's revealed to be in there between this being recorded and it going up. David Hayter will not be in this game anywhere.
You bet your ass.
Of course not.
He will not.
Kojima hates him.
He has tweeted weird things insinuating that he might be in it in some way. Every news site posts things intermittently like, will David Hayter be in Death Stranding? No, he will not be in Death Stranding. He will continue to post weird things insinuating he is, and then when the game comes out and he's not, he will be really passive-aggressive again.
Yeah, I would like it if Kojima rebuilt that bridge with Hayter and collaborated with him in the future, but I feel like it is possible that he is not in the game. I can see you've brought us a dark vision for the future, Mr. Feel, and for that I cannot curse you. I must thank you for this knowledge. Man, probably should have put these two premonitions together. So, we're starting round 4 of our Gamer Premonitions for Death Stranding, and I have to start the final round. Now, Kojima's gone on the record talking about what the game is a metaphor for, and basically how disconnected and polarizing today's political environment is, along with technology and how it plays into it. But by the end of Death Stranding, the message of the game will somewhat boil down to, we all fight for freedom, so who's the real bad guy? As you get that speech 3 times. That will be the ultimate conclusion of this game's metaphor. It will go poorly unless I don't know. I can't imagine anyone clapping. Someone will.
I'll clap if you want me to.
Please don't. This will really reach its peak when it is delivered across a 2-hour cutscene that you are locked into at the end of the game.
Kino.
Don't worry though, you get 4 save points. So every half hour you can save and pick up the cutscene later.
Very forward thinking.
Yeah. He likes to make his games easy to engage with, Hideo Kojima.
Good. Seasoned game developer.
Bob, what is your final premonition
All right.
for Death Stranding,
This one, follow me for a bit here.
the video game.
This is going to be a very secret thing. This is going to be hard to find. People might not find it for months.
Oh God.
There's going to be a way to seek out one of those, we've seen in some of the trailers, like they're not babies, they're literally like baby dolls.
Yes.
We're going to be able to find one of those and follow it down a river. And eventually it'll stop in this weird isolated room with another object in it.
Oh,
And it'll start a cutscene.
Okay.
And we'll see that the object is a PS3. And then it'll zoom in on the PS3 and then onto the baby. And the baby will start crying. And then it'll give us the release date for the PS3. We'll fully remake that PS3 ad. And then
I was about to say, is this the fucking ad?
Then the PS3 will turn into a PS5. This will be our first time seeing it. And we'll get a release date.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. That is the most slam dunk thing. Kojima totally has the clout where he's like, Mark Cerny, show me the form factor we're putting it in the game and sneaking it in.
That would be funny. I really want that.
Okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing the PS5 and Death Stranding.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be?
Very excited. Feel what can you tell me with your final premonition for Death Stranding?
Now, Metal Gear Solid 5 had a lot of costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously with it having a similar walk around the planes, delivering things between these cities, gameplay of Death Stranding, inevitably you will unlock costumes for Norman Reedus. One of these costumes will be the jacket from Drive.
Man, they could have sold that as DLC and I would have bought it.
$20.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not $20.
Maybe not $20. This is an Anthem here.
You're right, $15.
This isn't Dissidia, come on.
Dissidia is $25, Bob.
Oh,
Are they that? What?
No, but there's like, they sell them in packs, so it's like 2 costumes for $21.
Thank you, Bob, for putting in my mind the image of Squall wearing the jacket from Drive.
pretty awesome.
That's
Whatever.
Is he stomps a dude's head?
Yes.
Whatever.
Okay, and our final premonition is coming from KZ. KZ, tell me about Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, I believe, is a third-person action experience game
Oh.
by Hideo Kojima.
Do you walk around in it, or is this more of a drivey sort of game? Which do you do?
It's more of a walkie. You have like a backpack thing, and like there's the little stick that comes out with the weird little flappy thing. Go flap, 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 and you got a baby.
Are you telling me that Hideo Kojima's making another walking simulator game?
I mean, yeah, but I play it before Days Gone.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, if I'm walking and some cool stuff's happening, I'll keep walking.
Yeah. No, that's video games.
In some of that footage, you got to walk around a giant shadow wolf. That's pretty raw.
That's pretty raw.
You see, I'm down with that. The whole thing where there's like evil masses and monsters and gold masks, that's an aesthetic that I can get down with.
Mm-hmm.
My final premonition is, given the way this game goes and the trickery that Kojima tends to do, like I know about the Psycho Mantis stuff and just him having fun with stuff. This game will end no less than 4 times. And in all 4 instances, credits will play for an undisclosed amount of time.
Wow. That's
And by the 4th time, Dan will have given up.
that seems incredibly likely.
Never mind, by the 3rd.
I'm very excited to see those credits and deeply familiarize myself with who did what on the game as it scrolls through all 400 names.
Yes.
Whew. Death Stranding, really promising game. Can't wait for a baby doll to show me when the PS5 comes out and what it looks like.
There will also be a bonus a bonus ending scene to reveal that Death Stranding is really just a film in another world, and in that world is Kojima's next game.
Oh,
That I could see. I think Kojima loves fucking shit like that.
I like the concept of pan out shit, like the end of Men in Black.
God.
You know the Ryukino part where they're like, oh shit, they're like in a little thing in a locker.
yes. I'm aware.
Very deep.
I'm aware of that Barry Sonnenfeld touch. I don't know that Kojima's a fan of his, but he might be. He might be. But these,
I'm honestly surprised no one took the Sam will stare dead face at the main antagonist of the game as a vocal song plays for 5 minutes straight.
yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, we made that joke for 9 months now. I figured.
Thing.
Yeah.
Where they wasted that song on nothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's all 16 premonitions. I assume everyone has gotten all of their premonitions out, and Bob, why?
I have one final one I can throw out if you want.
I think we all have more here if we really want.
Oh, sure, yeah. We'll give the floor to Phil first. Phil, you go ahead and give us our bonus premonition.
Okay, the plot of Death Stranding, in terms of these are the things that happen in a linear narrative, will make no fucking sense at all. But the themes and metaphor and allegory will beat you over the head so viciously that you'll have a concussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And someone will still be on the internet saying they didn't get it.
Absolutely. And I look forward to the replies to that tweet. Bob, I hear you might also have some bonus premonitions.
The country's going to be run by a giant spider.
And that's when the votes went to
Can you
Bob,
fucking
Bob, I want to ask you, Bob, at what point in what trailer?
It's just that the Bridges logo is literally the United States with a spider web over it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Can you just imagine if Kojima was like, no, I lied. There's not any deep themes in this. The villains are spider people from another dimension, and they're rebuilding the network was them building their web. And like Die Hardman's face opens up and he's a spider.
I was just thinking about you saying the United States is like set up like a web, and then I thought, what if it's a giant spider satellite? Just a big ass Unicron ass thing.
And Bob, I know it's hard to follow yourself up with another premonition. But do you have any others you would like
the only
to...
other one I wrote was, I guess you go to the moon. I'm not sure.
This isn't even a full sentence. You said go to the moon, question mark. That's all you fucking... Jesus Christ.
Now I don't have another premonition, but I do have a question that I think is pertinent.
Okay.
What will the Metacritic score for Death Stranding be?
Ooh.
Dan.
92.
Feel.
Let me think for 1 second. 92.
Bob.
I'm going to go bold because it's 95.
I'm going to be that guy. 86. People are going to get really mad at Kojima and just say, fuck him, he's a hack. And you'll see enough outlets that'll go, 3.
In KZ's defense, this game is most likely shorter than Metal Gear Solid 5, so no one will prematurely review it, only to later find out the ending sucks.
Yeah, that was really bad.
That was infuriating. So I think
Sony isn't going to be like Konami, where they're like, hey, you wanna go to our review camp? Where you come up here and you play a bunch of the game and then write a review?
I feel like Metal Gear Solid 5 sucking so bad gives this game like an inherent debuff with reviewers, but he's a Sony exclusive now, so they have to lick boot, and that gives it like a buff back.
No. It's not about licking boots when it's a Sony exclusive. It's about cinematic quality. You're going to get to see some acting on screen.
Yeah, that's why Days Gone didn't exactly get any favors.
Yeah,
I just thought it was like, hey, at least this isn't Sea of Thieves. We got to respect this.
that's why Days Gone didn't get any favors. Exactly right, Bob.
Nobody felt like they needed to respect that.
Could you?
You're right. You're right. I saw every outlet that I follow talked about it when review times happened, just turned to dust. Almost instantaneously.
I don't think this game will be quite as joyless as Days Gone, but this.
I don't think it'll be as joyless as Metal Gear Solid 5.
That's literally impossible. I don't think Sony would let them release a game that is 30 hours of filler.
Oh, it has really good core mechanics, so that justifies everything else being bad.
Are you just some YouTube contrarian, or?
People defend Metal Gear Solid 5 so much.
Oh, really?
But it feels, you have a lot of tools and it feels so good, and I'm like, and you have no game to use them in.
That's okay. I'm very excited to walk up ladders in this game. I'm very excited to pee on mushrooms in this game.
I'm excited for my first Kojima game.
I'm really surprised no one called the secret boss of if you pee on the mushroom enough, a giant mushroom monster busts up from underground and you have to fight him. Very surprised no one had any premonitions that had to do with pissing on a mushroom specifically.
I didn't want to use piss after Phil used one because I was going to have one where there's a funny bit where Guillermo del Toro drinks piss.
My God. Thank you for listening to this episode of Gamer Premonitions. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots podcast Patreon and look forward to more Gamer Premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future. The spooky executive producers for the month of pre-October are Vincent Pover, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Dryzard, Shadow in the Darkness, Red Blaze 27, and Third Birth Dwen. Thank you very much to our pumpkin spiced executive producers. And also these guys. If you like this video and want to support us, then head on over to our prematurely haunted Patreon at patreon.com/GigaBoots and become an executive producer today. Ad revenue.